Hello, it's Nikki. Welcome back. Thanks for joining. Or if you're just joining for the first time, I'm delighted that you're here. Thank you so much. Today, I start with episode 57, which is with Hayley, who is founder of Break the Loop, although her brand has remodeled slightly. So do check out all the details over on her website, or you can catch up on all the episodes, nikkieraby.com/interview-series. We talk about social media and visibility and how much is too much and what should you show, how do you market, how do you be authentically you, all of those big conversations. So do check that one out. And then episode 58 with Pip Jamieson. Pip has built a community, a network, a piece of technology that is the LinkedIn equivalent for creatives, which is called the Dots. And in this episode, she talks about her dyslexia and how it's been one of her superpowers and how we need such diversity at the tables, because otherwise we are just building solutions for ourselves. And that phrase has really stayed with me to make sure that I am opening up what I can offer, and think, it was really life-changing and it's definitely stuck with me. Also, Fabienne Neill, who is episode 59, who is the founder of Cuckoo's Nest. This is a really interesting one for a complex, multi-layered business. So she talks about co-working, she talks about property, and how you can really diversify your income. And finally, Katie Birtill, who is a singer and an actor and a personal friend of mine that I've known from the industry, but are partners, or her husband, my partner. They've been pals since they were, 18 or something like that. But just listening to this episode where she's talking about the things that she wants to do, many of those things are happening now. And again, as I was going back and re-listening, it was such a reminder that we really have to speak what we want into existence, say it aloud, share it, and put it out there. Be bold enough to dream and to share it and to claim it. It's a really great one. Thank you, as always, for listening, for being with me, and for spending time with me and my guests. If you would like some further support, do go to nikkieraby.com/shop, and I'll see you there. And let's get into the episode. What am I wanging on about? Let's stop talking. Let's get listening. I'll speak to you soon. Bye.
I think it's kind of not overlooking that fact, and just starting from the basics, and giving people that first step,
because I think it's also as well, that's when all your mindset and your limiting beliefs and everything is coming out to play, and you're just going, oh my God, I'm never going to get there.
I don't have an education in this. Who am I to talk about this?
Exactly. Self-doubt, imposter syndrome. Yeah. All those jackasses are right there playing. Yeah. How have you sort of navigated this world of social media and putting yourself out there as you've got, your brand's got bigger and your profile's got bigger? How is that? What does that look like?
I try to be very honest. I try not to kind of show too much of the highlight reels, although I'm tempted to look at my account and see if I actually am. But I do, on the flip side to that, I do tend to sort of disappear a bit if things aren't so good, which... Yeah. It's kind of just human nature. And I think actually if I fought that and just shared everything through it, would that be, doing it just because I felt like I had to, or I don't know. So it's constantly changing, and my views on it constantly change. And I think there is a limit to what I will share on social media, as much as I want to be honest. I don't know. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I feel like there is some stuff that I'm very open to talking about and having a discussion, but also there are some elements, especially like about my relationship, or like I don't want to talk about sex particularly, even though the song tries to tell you otherwise. But like I didn't feel like I needed to share my birth story, or like the picture of me in, having a cesarean. Like, there's just some stuff that just doesn't feel like a fit. And I think there's something about that permanence of social media or putting it online, is that you're always traceable. And for having an offline conversation, sometimes there's people, you know, those moments where you meet someone and you never met them before, but yet you're sitting.
How was your holiday?
Yeah, exactly. How's your holiday? Oh, your C-section looked lovely.
How was your scar doing?
Yeah, it looked cracking.
I mean, you've got to really know what you feel comfortable with, and you can't just do it this is the thing, you can't just share things to get likes or to grow.
No, there is a reason why so many dyslexics succeed in as entrepreneurs, and it's essentially because we're more creative, we're actually more empathetic, and we just see the world in a different way. And I think we've got to stop thinking about these things as negatives and realize that there's just amazing benefits that come from people with neurodiversity. And that's not just dyslexia, that's things like autism. And it's, you know, it's actually just a different brain that you can bring to finding solutions to problems. So yeah, it's nice to kind of be talking about it, because I think everyone should talk about it and everyone should hire neurodiverse people.
Certainly. And especially if you have never had those challenges. You know, one of my really good friends, her middle daughter has severe special needs and autism. And you know, even when I used to help out when she was little, and even just sort of how you do locks on the swimming pool doors, or, you know, there's so many things to consider, and actually having more a difference and diversity at the table, it brings those sort of, I went to an event actually called Make Motherhood Diverse the other week, and it was so interesting just hearing everybody's experience, because funnily enough, we weren't all just making cakes and swanning around in a gingham dress.
Well, yes, I mean, it's so true. Like, if we don't have teams that reflect society as a whole, we're basically unconsciously building solutions for ourselves. And, you know, this is actually the challenge that has happened. And actually, if we build more accessible products for everyone, it's better for everyone. And, you know, examples of this from a purely like product design, website design perspective is, for example, when women search websites, they prefer on average to search using some sort of drop down, while men on average prefer to use free text search. Now, the huge problem with that is, with most tech products being primarily built by men, we're unconsciously building products for men. And everyone has unconscious bias. I'm as guilty of it as the next person. I mean, like, the Dots are 62% female membership. That's no coincidence. I'm a female founder. You know, that is my unconscious bias building in. So the thing is, absolutely, teams have to reflect society, or we just unconsciously build products for ourselves. And that's why it's so important to have a mix of different people in teams.
Yeah, I want to have been a lead in a West End show, and it's difficult. I mean, there are so many amazing things happening in regional theatre, touring theatres, fringe theatres. It's difficult to say, oh, but the West End is the dream. But I just would like to be part of that kind of big show that can have a big impact and a big draw.
You want a revolving stage, don't you?
Yeah, I want to revolve.
Put me on the revolve quickly.
But that's something that I would really like to do. And I mean, it would be brilliant if it was a new show or something that had a lot of interest and traction and a message that I really believe in. That would be great. I'd love to get my album out there and do more gigging and really find my voice in terms of even more so. Like, the launch gig was fantastic. It was so electric, and the audience gave such fantastic feedback. I had a launch gig of the album at the Crazy Cocks in Piccadilly. So I want to be doing more of that. I want to be doing more concerts. I feel like I've just got through a creaky door, and I'm pushing it open. You know, I feel like I'm at the beginning of that, and I've now got so much more confidence in myself than I had 5 years ago.